Hello everyone. Welcome to a new video. Games are fictional. But some games of the stories are taken based on true events. A lot of people struggle to stay awake during history class, but you don't have to sit through a lecture to learn more about your world. Here are 9 games that are actually based on real-world events. Brothers in Arms, Road to Hill 30. We could make a whole video about games based on World War II. Series like Call of Duty, Company of Heroes, and Medal of Honor all have games set around real World War II battles, but the Brothers in Arms series went to an extreme length to achieve historical accuracy. Road to Hill 30 was the first entry in the series, and was based on the true story of the 502nd Parachute Infantry Regiment, of the famed 101st Airborne Division who dropped behind German lines on D-Day. Velvet Assassin. This stealth action game from Replay Studios, revolved around the life of Violet Summer, a British spy operating deep behind enemy lines during World War II, who worked to undermine the Nazi war machine. The game was inspired by the life of an actual saboteur named Violet Sabo. Unfortunately, the real Violet was captured by the German army, tortured, and eventually deported to the Ravensbrück concentration camp where she died. Assassin's Creed 3. The Assassin's Creed series has always been based on real historical events, featuring iconic personalities like Leonardo da Vinci, Pope Alexander VI, and the pirate Blackbeard. However, the third main entry in the series sprinkled in so many real historical events surrounding the founding of the US that it almost became a joke. Throughout the game, burgeoning assassin Connor participates in the Boston Tea Party, the Boston Massacre, Paul Revere's Ride, and the signing of the Declaration of Independence. 1979 Revolution, Black Friday. In this interactive adventure game from Ink Stories, players take on the role of Reza Shirazi, an aspiring photojournalist who has returned to his home country, of Iran in the middle of the Iranian Revolution. As players take photographs of the war, they are presented with the historical background of actual events, as well as a few personal accounts from people who lived through the revolution. LA Noir. This neo-noir detective simulation appears on a lot of history lists. Thanks to Team Bondi's painstaking attempt to recreate Los Angeles, as it appeared back in the 1940s and 1950s using actual photos and city planning documents from the era. The story revolves around Detective Cole Phelps, a World War II veteran who returns home and solves a series of crimes based on actual news headlines. That Dragon Cancer. Unlike most of the other entries on this list, which revolve around epic wars and other global events that reshaped our world map, That Dragon Cancer is a heartbreaking autobiographical game, based on Ryan and Amy Green's experience losing a child to cancer. When Joel was only 12 months old, he was diagnosed with an atypical teratoid rhabdoid tumor, and given less than 4 months to live. That Dragon Cancer aims to deliver the sense of hopelessness and grieving that the Greens felt during this ordeal. The Saboteur. This open-world third-person shooter game, from defunct Pandemic Studios, is yet another game, based on actual events of World War II. What can we say? World War II was an eventful time. Set in German-occupied France, player's controller Sean Devlin, a hard-drinking Irish race car mechanic, who helps the resistance's effort to sabotage the Nazis. Pandemic based Devlin on the real life of William Grover Williams, a half-English/half-French Grand Prix champion, who fled France when the war started. Grover Williams was later recruited by the British and airdropped back into France as a spy. Sadly, this hero ended up dying for his country. Valiant Hearts, The Great War. Sick of World War II? Let's jump back into the First World War. The less explored Great War was the backdrop for Ubisoft's heartfelt adventure game Valiant Hearts, The Great War. Beginning in 1914, when Germany declared war on Russia and France, began deporting German citizens, players take on the roles of four heroes: a Frenchman named Émile, his German son-in-law Karl, an American soldier named Freddy, and a Belgian nurse named Anna. Many of the accounts are based on real stories from the war, and all of the battles represented in the game are real conflicts. Valiant Hearts even features several encyclopedic accounts from the war accompanied by actual war photos. Dynasty Warriors 2. Omega Force's action series is one of the most serialized franchises in gaming history, and has spawned entries based on the anime Gundam, The Legend of Zelda, and Dragon Quest. However, the first few Dynasty Warriors were actually based on a 14th century historical Chinese novel, called Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which detailed events in China between the 2nd and 3rd centuries AD, as several warring tribes fought to unify China. So, these are the games which I know from true events. If you know more, then comment below. Thank you for watching this video. We'll meet in a new video. Thank you. Bye.